What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Star Bazaar and to another news update for Star Wars Battlefront 2. We have a lot of good stuff to go over in today's video, but we also have a touch of bad news, which I'm sure some of you have heard already. The game update, which was supposed to drop this week on January 30th, got pushed back until next week due to an issue that the team caught during testing. We'll go over the specifics of the delay and the rest of the news in just a moment. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all future Battlefront 2 updates. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up too.
Do it.
So let's check it out. The game update, which was originally scheduled for January 30th, is being pushed back until early next week. Our community manager, Ben Walk, took to social media and put out a public announcement explaining everything. In his post, he says, "Unfortunately, this is sometimes the reality in game development, where testing continues right up until an update is deployed onto our live servers. Although disappointing, we feel that it is much better that we found the issue now, rather than have it slip through and make it to our live servers," which, once you hear what the issue was, I think you'll definitely agree. Check this out. Ben said, "Under certain circumstances, not 100% of the time, you would be unable to damage your opponents while playing Capital Supremacy. If this had made its way into the game, it would have been unpleasant." 100%. Battlefront 2 has a bit of a history of letting some pretty bad game-breaking bugs slip through their updates, and the team has had to take some steps back to fix those problems, so at the end of the day, it is really good that they caught this now. Doesn't really stop the delay from being any more disappointing, but it is good at the end of the day. Ben says that to help make up for this a little bit, the team is activating triple XP across all game modes for this weekend, so definitely grind this weekend if you're trying to level up. That's all the bad news. Now we can move on to all the cool information. In this same post, Ben gives a brief review of all the new content we're going to be getting in the delayed update, including new information on the two heroes, BB8 and BB9E. On the topic of the two new droids, Ben says, "This update brings with it two new heroes, the offensive-based BB8 and the support-oriented BB9E. Both heroes come with 3 abilities, as well as 3 passives. And yes, BB8 will be able to do the thumbs up emote." I wanted to talk about the passive abilities for just a second because that is some really cool information. The only passive ability currently in Battlefront 2 for any of the heroes is health regeneration when they get a kill. Currently, all heroes except Bosk have that one passive ability. Bosk actually has none, but with the inclusion of BB8 and BB9E, it sounds like they will be getting 3 different passive abilities each. I can only assume that one of them will be this passive health on kill ability that all the other heroes have, but it makes me wonder what the other 2 will be. I could imagine something like faster rolling speed with the more points or the more kills you earn as the droids, or something else along those lines. If you played Battlefront 2015, you'd remember that every single hero had their own unique passive ability. Luke Skywalker would be able to run faster, for example, and Darth Vader would gain more damage reduction. The passive abilities were what set the heroes apart, so the fact that these BB units are getting 3 passives each, I don't know about you guys, but that has me pretty excited to try them out. Let me know in the comments below what you think the other 2 passive abilities might be, or if you think the third one isn't even a health on kill. Let me know your ideas below. Ben also confirmed out on the Discord server the amount of health that each of these droids will have. BB8 will have 650 health, while BB9E will have 600, so they're right up there with the blaster heroes and villains, like Han Solo and Bosk. Now the rest of this information is kind of like a light version of the patch notes. We don't have the patch notes just yet, since the update itself got delayed. I'm sure the patch notes will be delayed as well, but Ben does elaborate on some of the content we will be getting in this update. He says, "The Age of Resistance will be joining Capital Supremacy, with 2 new capital ships, the MC-85 Star Cruiser and the Resurgent-class Star Destroyer, which we knew already," but he continues with some new information, saying, "We're also bringing Agent Kloss to Hero Showdown." Agent Kloss is the new sequel map playable in both co-op and Heroes vs. Villains, but after this update it will be available in both Capital Supremacy and now Hero Showdown, which is fantastic news. Hero Showdown usually misses out on a lot of the maps that come to Heroes vs. Villains. Ben says that they are going to start bringing more maps into Hero Showdown. Agent Kloss is just the start of that, so that's really exciting. There's also a variety of balance changes as well as fixes and improvements coming in this update. Ben goes on to say that Darth Vader will now be able to block and attack while he's choking targets. Before, we were told that he would only be able to block while he's choking, but it sounds like he's also going to be able to attack too, which sounds pretty scary. He also confirms the specific changes that are coming to the officer. In the previous news update, we talked about a nerf coming to the officer class, and Ben goes into some details about what to expect from those changes. He says, "We are changing the cone of the officer's battle command. It'll now be a 360-degree radius as opposed to all out in front of you. The radius has also been reduced slightly as well. We're also lowering the amount of score you get for assists when you have buffed somebody." Honestly, after reading that, that's not the officer nerf that I was looking for. I was hoping the battle point gain would be removed entirely from the command ability, but it sounds like it's only a reduction in the kill assist points you get. Hopefully, the reduced command radius will help balance the officer out a little bit. After that, Ben talks about the AI players being able to melee now, which is something we learned last week, but he goes into some specifics about some upcoming changes to the droideka, which we did not know previously. We knew the droideka was getting a buff, but Ben says that the specific changes that are coming to it are an increase to the droideka's shield health and an added damage reduction while the droideka is in the wheel form. This is great. It'll make the droideka a lot tankier in both forms, with additional shield health and some damage reduction while it's rolling around. I would actually expect the battle point cost to go up for the droideka, but there's no mention of that just yet. We'll have to see once the update drops. Moving on, we have some really cool information about a feature that has not been present in Battlefront 2 since it released. It was in Battlefront 2015, and when players saw that it was not in Battlefront 2, it was actually a little bit disappointing, and that is voiceover announcers for specific heroes when they spawn in. It may sound like a small trivial thing, but it really adds to the immersion of the overall game. Imagine you're playing a game of Galactic Assault and you're playing as a regular trooper when all of a sudden you hear the voiceover announcer saying that Luke Skywalker has entered the battle. That would be a great morale booster for your team, but it also lets you know specifically what hero is on the field, and you can go back them up if you'd like. If you know that Finn just spawned in, you'll know to go find Finn and hang out with him since he's a team support hero. This is a great feature, and one that I think a lot of players have been asking for a while, so I'm glad that they're finally adding it to Battlefront 2. Do note, though, that this voiceover announcer will only apply to era-specific heroes, meaning if you spawn in as Luke Skywalker, for example, on Kamino, the voiceover announcer will not announce Luke. Luke would only get announced on maps like Hoth, Tatooine, and Death Star 2. I'm actually pretty okay with this, because it would be weird for a clone announcer to announce Luke Skywalker coming into a prequel-era map. That's just a little bit weird if you ask me. Next, we get some confirmation on which heroes will be available to be played in sequel-era Capital Supremacy. In prequel-era Capital Supremacy, we get 4 heroes on each side. Right now, there are only 2 sequel-era heroes on each side, but once the BB units join Battlefront 2, that'll bring the total up to 3. Ben confirms it will be these 3 heroes who are available in sequel-era Capital Supremacy: Rey, Finn, and BB8 for the Resistance, and Kylo, Captain Phasma, and BB9E for the First Order. There's no word on a potential 4th hero per team, so it sounds like it'll just be these 3 for the time being. And the last bit of news to go over today is the fact that both Kylo Ren and Finn are getting brand new emotes with this update. I want to note that it says emotes, plural, which leads me to believe that both Kylo and Finn will be getting at least 2. These new emotes will be unlockable via the milestones, so you'll probably have to do something unique with each hero in order to unlock them. It's really good news that we're getting new emotes though. The last new emote we got was the Kenobi one for Darth Maul, where he screams Kenobi's name. Since then, new emotes have been far and few between, but the fact that we're getting new ones now is really cool. They're dropping right in time for sequel-era Capital Supremacy, so I'm excited to try them out in-game. And with that, that is all the Battlefront 2 news that we have to go over today. Once again, we don't have the patch notes just yet for this upcoming game update, but as soon as those release, we will have another update video talking about everything you need to know about it. The update does not yet have an official new release date, but we do know that it should be dropping early next week, so we don't have to wait much longer. I appreciate everybody who stopped by the bazaar and checked out the news though. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and that's going to do it from me. I'll see you all out on the battlefront. Peace.